Yellow, 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 yellow. It is Tuga Tuesdays night. It's going to be a wild edition of the show. We are fully loaded with the lineup. I'm sorry, Mauricio Ron, I'm blocking you with the logo. You're up there. I got to move this thing. Can I move it? I think I can, but let me just switch this up. Maybe like this. All right, that's better. That's better. All right. We're good now. We're good. We're this is a better layout. Not as my God. Where do we start? Where do we start tonight?
There's a lot to unpack.
A lot to talk about, but we unfortunately, Mikey, we're gonna have to start with you tonight.
Let's get it out of the way. Let's get out of the way.
Let's rip off the Band-Aid.
Wild game.
Wild.
Had to lose. Finally, Pavlidis saw the light. Finally, Pavlidis with a multi-goal game, a hat-trick. Everything was going perfect. And then I don't know. 9 goals.
Oh, I know.
He knows, of course. Of course. And of course, we got my left, my right. I don't know. All right. That way. No, this way. Roy is here. All right.
Yeah.
Porto soap opera turned out more exciting than ever. I mean, not for the fans. I mean, as a product, right? As a reality show, better than Jersey Shore, better than but everything else, right? Because Roy's gonna talk about it. Of course, we have the massive game in the island, right? Estoril 3-2 over Santa Clara, and as I put it on my tweet, all the stars are aligned for Sporting. I'm going to talk about that in a second. And look at this guy, man. He's like, look at this guy, man. He's sipping water. Yeah. I know. He's excited. I'm excited too. All right, guys. Roy, guys, we got Mauricio, we got Derek, we got Mike D'Agostino, fully loaded. This edition of Tuga Tuesdays, and we're gonna kick off with, of course, Mr. BENFICA. We want to talk about Porto too, but Mr. BENFICA, how you doing tonight, Mikey?
I'm okay, actually. I'm okay. It was a crazy game, but math is on Benfica's side right now. All we need is Manchester City to take care of business tomorrow, and need Arsenal to take care of business, and we're in. So because PSG then will get in, but they'll knock out Stuttgart in the final day. Benfica will get in the 24th spot, which is what I thought after that point got in the last round. So still frustrating. A lot of good things from the game, and then all thrown away in the last 20 minutes or so. Barcelona showed up today, and I mean the criteria.
A little bit of controversies in there too, right?
I'm sorry, but Yamal's penalty. I'm fine with Yamal's penalty being called if the other one's called, and I'm fine with neither of them being called, but one being called and not the other, I have a little bit of an issue with. But it's all of our teams have experienced that playing in Europe. All the Portuguese teams seem to be on the same end of all of these close decisions in Europe. But the problem, the substitutions came on, and each time the team got weaker. And, a lot of times I fight with fans about that. They say coaches wait too long to make substitutions. Sometimes substitutions have a negative effect. That happened today. Control was lost, and Barcelona became Barcelona in the last 20 minutes. They really looked like themselves. And all of a sudden they were finding the spaces in between the lines. They were connecting passes. And all of a sudden they were finding opportunities. For the first 70 minutes, their goals came off of flukes, either a penalty or proven.
Yeah.
That goal that I'm not even going to put blame on him, because the odds of that hitting, Rafinha's head and going into the goal from 25 yards out is so slim. But in the end, Barcelona turned into Barcelona for 15 minutes and they got their result. But that final play, Benfica cannot. I know they wanted to win, but you cannot have everybody in the box when
I know.
The foul was committed, right? It was Carreras that went down. Carreras got up limping, and he was the only guy back. You had the semi-injured guy was the only guy back to try to keep pace with Rafinha, and they got a little bit ahead of themselves because that 1 point would have guaranteed qualification, but they got ahead of themselves trying to get a win on a night where it was one of those. I thought the VAR was going to bring it back. I really did. I thought it was going to get even crazier. And I thought we were going to get a penalty there to close out the match. It didn't. It wasn't meant to be. But again, it's important now that this does not become the beginning of a set of
Yes, sir,
dominoes
no
for the
doubt.
team. That's what I'm
Just
concerned about. I'm not so concerned about the points in this match as much as I am what's going to happen in the next 2 or 3 matches.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rui Pereira Jr. He's gonna say these words to you, Porto fans. Say hello to my little friend because we are loaded, baby. Rui, how you doing,
Yeah.
man? How's your Portugal, man? I know. Just give me your opening, brother.
Yeah, man, the circus doesn't stop. I don't even know how to just Mauricio called it out before we hit the record button about how the last time that I was on the show, he talked about how Vitor Bruno prepared well for the smaller teams, and then we saw in the game against Sporting, we see the games in Europe. Obviously, we got wailed on by Benfica and everything. But now you see these last 3 games, 3 losses. Okay, the one against Sporting, it is what it is. It's the cup game. It's a rival. Sporting's a good team. You can accept it. It
Right.
hurts to lose to them, but you can accept it because they're a good team. But you have to come back. The other two, it's just this was Vitor Bruno's bread and butter throughout the entire season, just preparing well against the smaller teams, even though it wasn't necessarily the best kind of football to watch. But the most important thing is yeah. So the most important thing is to get the 3 points, and that's what's going to keep his. That's how he would keep his job. And dropping these last 2 games, it's unacceptable. Just the approach, the tactics. Like, I can't even explain what the tactics are because it doesn't even seem like we can even get into some sort of rhythm for more than 4 or 5 minutes. We become very complacent. Our defense is disastrous. Our midfield is awful. And I have to say this: if it wasn't for Samu this year, where would we be? Just it seems like he would touch, like in some games he would just touch the ball like 9 or 10 times, and 2 of those touches are goals. And not too many strikers could do that. We don't see too many strikers that are capable of doing that. So thankfully we have him there to bail us out and capitalize. But he's 20 years old. He's human. He's young. He's not as experienced. He's not going to do this for the entire season. Other players need to step up. It can't be just him every single game. So we don't have that. There's no fluidity. There's no continuity and anything going forward. The midfield is so lackluster. And Vitor Bruno, for whatever reason, whenever there's a poor performance from a player, he just takes him out. Like, I feel like Rodrigo Mora deserved to play another game. I know he had a bad game against Nacional, but you can't just take one player out after just one bad game. So many players have had bad games. Other players that cost us games, like our defense, every single one of them, Perez, Otavio, and especially Otavio in this game.
Yeah.
It's like you have to stick. You have to give these players the opportunity. You go in with a certain starting 11. You can't just change it just because it's one bad game. You have to have trust in it. There's a reason why you put them in. You can't just mix things around. Otherwise, you're going to go into every single game. It's a different starting lineup on an area that you need to get goals in, on creativity in the midfield. It's a mess now. It's for obvious reasons. Obviously, we lost these 2 games, but it seemed like Vitor Bruno just couldn't figure it out anymore. I think his gas tank just ran out at this point after all these results.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at Supergino, what he says. It looks like Gil Vicente ended 2 managers' job this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Thank you, Gil Vicente.
Marcelo says
Sporting says thank you to Gil Vicente.
right. Absolutely. Now we go with Mr. Gomez. Mr. Gomez, all smiles today. He's not frenzy. He's not anxious. He looks comfortable tonight. Mr. Gomez, welcome. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm still a little bit thunderstruck from what happened on Saturday. I did not see that coming. I'm going to raise my hand right now and say I didn't see that coming.
Really?
I think that, it was 3-0, but I do think that the result was very friendly to Rio Ave. That shouldn't have been 3-0. It really should have been 7-0, 8-0. I was just surprised. It did remind me of Ruben's Sporting, the fluidity of the game, winning the ball back as quickly as they did, winning it high up the pitch, the involvement of the wingbacks. It brought me back to Ruben. It looks like these guys are starting to settle into Rui Borges' system. Looking at the previous body of work, you saw flashes of this in these games, but they weren't able to consistently do it over the 90 minutes. This, of course, being the exception. I think Sporting dominated from the first second to the last second against a team that hadn't lost at home in 20 league games. So I mean, it was a giant, pleasant surprise, and we also have to remember, and because there are critics out there that just want to say, oh, what will Sporting do without Victor? Victor came in the 80th minute. We played 80 minutes without Victor, and we dominated those 80 minutes. And like I said, again, it was 3-0. It should have been 7 or 8. Their goalie, I think their goalie made 11 saves. Some of them were miracle saves, like Nakamura level saves. So yeah, I mean, this was a giant pleasant surprise. It's piqued my interest. I'm very curious to see if this was a one-off, if this was a fluke. So I'm definitely going to be paying close attention tomorrow, and of course, Saturday's match at home against Nacional, who's riding high right now. Not only did they beat Porto, they just got a big win over AVS. So it'd be interesting, but I mean, I couldn't be happy. I'm still in shock over how well they played and how well they dominated. And hopefully this is a sign of things to come.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Mauricio Ruano, tell me how excited you were about that Estoril and Santa Clara in the island, brother.
Listen, that turned out to be actually a really good game. I think Santa Clara took Estoril for granted. They played kind of differently that game, Santa Clara. They started pressing real high. And usually Santa Clara, they rely more on their defense. They sit back and they let the game come to them and everything like that. And they try to close everything down. And Estoril just got them real quick. Within 30 minutes, they were up 2-0. I think the coach saw it too. Mr. Matus, he switched right away in the 30th minute. Trust the process.
This guy.
In the 30th
yeah, he always wants us to. You wanted me to trust the João Pereira process.
Like in the 30th minute at that game, the Santa Clara coach finally made a sub. He took out the defender and put in an extra midfielder. And they started getting more control of the game, and they got a goal back right before halftime. And then they were still able to tie that game back up. But I feel like they started running out of gas from them catching up to Estoril in that game, because Pina on Estoril was just running up and down that sideline as much as he wanted. And they really got a good win over there in the island. I'm starting to feel a little concerned for Santa Clara, because their coach looks like he could be leaving. And he's going to be going to Brazil, it looks like, because there's some teams over there that are interested in him. And if that's the case, Santa Clara, all of this that they've worked so hard for, to get within that top 5, top 6, this loss, it could start bringing some things down. And if they lose that coach, that's going to hurt them a lot.
Yes, sir. And we were talking about how if Santa Clara will derail or not, then we'll see. We'll see. First game of the second half. We turn the page. We are in the second half of the season. And Benfica got revenge. Big time. Big time on Fama after Fama. Got the season opener first round over the Eagles. But then the player that Mikey and myself and a lot of people out there were, not questioning. We were asking for this guy to jump on the pitch, to be the element that gels everything together for Benfica. He got a hat trick. He was the MVP. And Leito Barreiro, you happy with on the pitch?
Came out of nowhere, man.
Yeah, no, it was a great game for him. To come off the bench and to get a hat trick, and Pavlidis had a lot to do with 2 of his goals. So that was also, I was happy with that, because he didn't put him in, but he assists the first one. And on the third goal, he's the one that takes the defenders away and opens the back post for Barreiro to make his run to get that tap in. But it was good. He's a guy. What I like about Barreto is this is a guy that when he's asked to play, he comes in and he does his job. And when he's not asked to play, his agent is not putting out messages that he's looking for another team. There's no complaints about his playing time. He just continues to work. He gets back on the training pitch. He works to understand what the manager wants from him. And when he gets on the pitch, he does his job. And it was a great game for him. And it was a pretty good performance for Benfica. Again, it's creating that debate that everyone wants to have because Di Maria's off the pitch and the team looks so good without him. And of course, he's the scapegoat today because he came on and Barcelona had 3 goals the moment Di Maria came on the pitch. So that idiotic argument is starting again about whether they're better with or without him, ignoring what he's done all season. But it was a game that Benfica needed this. They needed a statement because coming off the back-to-back losses, which is, I think, the last time we talked, I was pretty down on where they were. And then they had a good Taça da Liga Final Four, which more so than the results was the performance. It was improved. There was some confidence in the team. Then they got through Farense in the Portuguese Cup. So this was their first league game since those 2 losses. They needed these 3 points if they were to keep pace and to stay in this race. And they didn't just get 3 points. They came out and they took care of business, and really everybody left convinced. They got 3 points and they convinced everybody that they're here for the long haul. Hopefully it was not just a one game spike, and that we're gonna go back to struggling for points against everybody. But this is the 20. Derek will know what I'm talking. This is the 2004-2005 season all over again, where everybody just takes turns dropping points.
He's trying to get that.
And at the end, we're gonna be seeing a champion with 78, 79 points.
Yeah,
I know. You said in the past. You said in the past that you can't lose more than 3 games and win a title.
We've always said that.
I think this year the winner will have more than 3 losses.
Yeah, we're there. We're all there right now, I think.
Yeah.
We're all at 3 losses.
Let me see. 3 losses, right? I think they have 3 already, right?
Sporting has 2, Benfica has 3, and Porto have 4.
Okay, so
Porto 4. Yeah, 4 losses. I don't know about that, but you were spot on, Rui, when you run your poll. What's the best short solution for Porto? Fire Vito Bruno, sign 22 players, take the season off, and other. Please reply. 2.2% got the other. 74.1% of the poll got it right. And they got it right on the same day. And it happened in the same day. They fired Vito Bruno on the same very freaking day out of Porto. And since he's out, right? The very next day in the morning, I woke up, got my Twitter up, and said, "Oh, really? This is the guy that is standing out there, Xavi."
Yeah, we can't afford that. That would be amazing, but and even the Brazilian national team coach was interested too, or whatever was linked, but I don't think that's going to happen either. But yeah, that was pretty much the solution to all this, because I think Porto were really relying on Vitor Bruno getting results against the smaller teams, and we've talked so many times. I don't know how long we've been doing this podcast for, but that, losing to the big teams, it hurts, it sucks, but it doesn't always define the title. It's picking up these points against Famalicão, against Gil Vicente, against Estoril, the team that I hate. You have to win those. You have to win those games.
Yeah.
Really, bragging rights is awesome. Look at it last year when we beat Benfica 5-0. Not to rub it in your face, Mike. It literally meant nothing. It meant nothing. We still finished in 3rd place, and all it was bragging rights. And no one's ever going to remember that game. Maybe you look back, oh yeah, we won 5-0, but nothing good really came from it. We didn't make it to the Champions League. We didn't win the league. We didn't get anything from it. So this had to be decided, because the football was so lackluster. There's no identity. There's no leadership on this team. That, you look at the Porto teams over the last 5-6 years. You had players like Hector Herrera, you had Pep, you even had Taremi, Mateus Uribe, Mbemba, like leaders, Otavio, leaders, people. Even you guys are gonna laugh at this, but even Musa Marega, like not even
absolutely.
a great player, but he scored so many
absolutely.
goals against big teams because he was a truck. He would die on the field, even though he would play the most ridiculous football.
Yeah.
You need players like that on your team, and there's none of it. We were expecting Pepe to be that guy, that next Otavio, to do everything, to carry the workload, to pump up everyone around the field, to lead. There's none of that on this team. It's so un-Porto-like. And a lot of this isn't really Vitor Bruno's fault. I think he's an excellent tactician. I think he understands the game very well. But sometimes it's not going to play out well for him, just like in so many other managers. Like Carlo Ancelotti bounced around at Juventus and Chelsea and Napoli and Everton. It didn't work out, but it worked out at AC Milan and Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. Or actually, it didn't really work out at Bayern Munich for him. So, I don't think he's a horrible manager, but you need something else. It's not just tactics as a manager. You have to make the right decisions.
Right.
You have to be a good man manager. You need to know how to coach these players with what you have, because sometimes the set of players that you have aren't going to work well with your tactics and your approach to the game. You have to be super versatile. That's why you see, at times Carlo Ancelotti was great at certain teams, but it didn't work out at other teams. So many coaches have went down that road before. Like, why did it work here, but it couldn't here?
Yeah.
I can actually see Vitor Bruno doing a good job at a team like Braga or even Guimarães or something like that. But when you're at Porto, and depending on who you have on your team as well, it's not always gonna work out well. Look at Roger Schmidt. First season was impeccable, especially the first 6 months of that season was impeccable football.
Yeah.
Then the next year they just wanted to get rid of this guy. That's how it is, especially in the Portuguese league. It's always different every year. It's never always the same. So this was a decision that we needed. He needed to go.
Right now, Rui, you were mentioning all these players, the lack of leadership and in Porto. But you think that this is the problem that in Porto they're trying to find the next Vitinha, the next Otavinho, the next Tecatito, instead of working with the actual talent that you have in the roster now. Explore their capabilities or skills with the players that you have now. They're not them. You got to understand that, and then try to get the best out of these guys instead of trying to find a replacement for what you lost.
I think you're right. I still think this team is talented. I think Porto has good players. They're just really young now. We went from having a mixture of young players, talented players, and then, like the guys that I mentioned, the Mateus Uribe, the Pep, Mbemba, Taremi, Hector Herrera, and so many others that just had a lot of experience, that been around the block for a while. You need to have that mix. Even Marcano, when he was a much better player, he was a pretty good leader as well. But now he's just old. He's not really on the field anymore. He's not really going to make as much impact on these players on the pitch. So, not having that leadership and not having these players, I've always described Porto, the tripeiro gara, like Porto eats with their bare hands. They don't eat with their forks and knives.
Right.
They're, the Winterfell of Portugal. Out of the Portuguese league, that's Porto. They are barbarians on the field. They can be in the worst form, but in a big game against a Sporting, against a BENFICA, in a Champions League game, they will pull out some sort of result or a great performance. You're not seeing this with this squad. It's just not there. That gara isn't there, and I think that is what they need to come back to. There's no leadership on top of it.
It's their identity. It's missing.
The identity it's not there.
They're like in that beast mode. They don't have that beast mode. They can find that beast mode that they need in order to pull up these games.
My question is, do you think he was a good hire from the get-go? It's almost like he sort of fell into this job. I mean, do you think that enough thought was put into it?
Yeah, I think so. He's been on the team long enough. He was under Sergio Conceição's
Yeah.
wing for the longest time.
Yeah.
And you can credit a lot of Sergio's tactical success
Yeah.
to Vitor Bruno. I think he's a great tactician, but sometimes it just doesn't translate on
He
certain
lacks the
squads. And I think this
personality.
You're a
squad
head coach.
and the personality. Look, I
Yeah.
mean, you look at
I agree
how
with what he's
like
saying.
how bad Porto at times was the last 2 years previous to this one with Sergio Conceição.
Yeah.
And then, they go up against Barcelona. They have great performances. They came out, short because of, officiating, a couple of penalties and whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's besides the point. But like against Atletico Madrid, even going into the round of 16s, beating Roma, beating Juve, going into the quarterfinals, having good performances and on mediocre squads, like in the league. And then Sergio can get the best out of players in certain moments. Maybe not for the entire season if the squad isn't right for him, but Vitor Bruno just doesn't have that. He just needs to have a certain team, certain players that can adapt to his style, and he doesn't quite have it with this team. I think he's a great tactician. I think he's intelligent, and a lot of credit he deserves for the years that he was under Sergio. I think he has to take some credit for that, but as a head coach, it's not just tactics, it's a lot more beyond. There's
Yeah,
psychology, there's
Management.
management, all that.
locker room too. Mr. Gomez, so
Yes.
you mentioned something here when in the opening when you said that this reminds you of the one of the best Ruben Amorim's Sporting, right? Reminds you of the Ruben Amorim Sporting. And my question is this: do you think that that we actually start to see in the blueprint of Rui Borges on this team?
Yeah, I mean, he is taking shape. I think that his vision for the team is taking shape. But I mean, again, this is the real, the first time that I was really impressed with Sporting since Ruben. So I'm very curious to see if this is going to carry over. If we're going to continue to perform like this. So that's why I'm going to pay very close attention to tomorrow and Saturday's game as well. But yeah, no, Sporting looked comfortable out there. Morten Ullman is really settling in now. He looks like the old Morten Ullman. The wing backs, like I mentioned before, the wing backs, Jenny Katamo and Kenda, who's man of the match, are getting up there. They're applying pressure. They're getting into spaces. He's doing a good job with the fullbacks, having them invert and go in, creating space for those guys out on the sides and the flanks. And Sporting created a lot of chances. So I think that you're going to see something similar to this going forward. But again, I will say the game hit me like a thunderbolt. I thought Sporting. I thought this guy was put in a very tough position. I mean, your first game is home against Benfica. Your second game is away against Victoria. Then you got two League Cup games against Porto, then Benfica, and now you're going away to Rio Ave. I mean, so those are his first 5 games. So this was definitely a baptism by fire. But in those first 4 games, you didn't see the level of domination that you saw at the Vila do Conde. So I'm just very curious. I really I'm hoping that this keeps on going. That this wasn't a one-off. But he has the 4-4-2 installed. Players are getting accustomed to their new roles. I think that this is giving an opportunity now to Fresneda, who was a forgotten player. All of a sudden, he has new life at Sporting. And I think that he's growing in confidence. That's very interesting to see because Sporting made a good investment in him. I think playing Maxi back has really helped Maxi's game. I liked him as that left back. Having Gonçalo Inácio back, he looks like he's 100%. That and that him and Diamond, they have contrasting styles, but I think they complement each other really nice back there. So you can play with the 2 center backs now. I think that those 2 guys are very comfortable in that role. The only thing that I have noticed, and I've seen this right now, all 5 games, the guy who's lost. The guy who was lost in this new system is Francisco Trincão. Playing in this 4-4-2 system, I think he's lost out there. So that's one observation that I made. You're better off starting Harder. I think Harder does better, as part of a two-pronged attack. Him and Victor Jokic. I think they need to drop Trincão. I think he needs to drop to the right side of the midfield. He can get behind the ball. That allows him, to take the ball and drive, because that's what he does. When you have him in that advanced position, he's not getting touches in the ball. He's lost in this 4-4-2 system. So I think that has been, the big casualty, of this 4-4-2, though I do think pretty much everyone else on the pitch is excelling. So I just I'm curious to see how he's going to play Trincão, because if I'm seeing it, obviously everybody else is seeing it too. He's been lost in this 4-4-2. So he's a talented player. We need to get the best out of him. We need to maximize, his potential. But right now he's just being wasted, up there in this 4-4-2 system. Those are my observations from these 5 games. Yeah.
And Super Genius says, if we see Roy Borges 4-4-2 plays with transitions into 3-4-3 on counter and attack, but with a stronger core defense, they'll lack a bit before. What is this? Right here. This one here. I think with when Poch is back, Trincão and Pochi will alternate. That's what Super Genius says. And what's trust the process, Mr. Tactical Analysis, Rui Borges method? I like how Rui Borges uses
Ken has been doing good higher up the pitch. There's no doubt about that. Yeah.
Yes, Derek, what do you think? What do you think when Porto comes back? He takes Trincão's spot, and you move Jenny back to the bench, and you put Trincão where Jenny is. You think that would make it better?
It's a good headache to have. I do think that Trincão needs to play back. I think that he needs to be. Well, Trincão likes to come in with his left, so I think that him as a right-sided midfielder makes sense to me. So that would actually hurt Katamo, because that's where Katamo's playing right now. I see Katamo dropping to the bench. And then, Pot is extremely flexible. Pot can basically play any position. You can try him at the, as a complement to the attack in a 4-4-2. He can also play where Kenda's playing right now. Right. He can play on the left side of the midfield and come on the right. Yeah. And he can also drop to the middle with Morton. There's so much flexibility. That's why Ruben, he was Ruben's favorite player, because of his flexibility, because of the way he comes back and defends. Right. He's not just thinking about scoring goals. He's such a valuable player. But we've missed him for so long, yet here we are. We're still in first place.
I know.
We're still alive in the Champions League.
Yes, sir.
So, this is, so that's encouraging. Hopefully he comes back soon. I think it's predicted that he's going to come back soon. I did see some pictures with him. He's on the field now. But he becomes such a critical player. But I'm very curious to see how he's going to play him. Is he gonna be a complement to Victor in the 4-4-2, or is he going to be on the left side of the midfield? There's a lot of things he can do. It gives Sporting some extra depth that's much needed right now.
Yeah,
but you know what Mikey told me? Mikey told me that he sent a scarf, a chocolate cake, and a 12-pack to Fabrizio Romano.
I told you, he blocked me here a long time ago.
To get Victor Jokic out of Portugal, man.
Yeah.
He blocked me a long time ago.
Mauricio. This Braga that beat Estrela Amadora barely beat Estrela. All right. Coming off of the victory, a big win over BENFICA. And now, in the very next week, the struggle against Estrela. Tell me about that.
Listen, that game, that Braga got really lucky at the end, because at first I didn't think Lopes was offsides on that goal until VAR intervened and they cleared it and they said it wasn't a goal. They got really lucky because Braga looked horrible that entire game. They created nothing really threatening to Estrela Amadora that entire game besides that goal. I think Salazar not being there is a big miss for them. They have no creativity in that midfield.
Edwards is gone.
They have no creativity whatsoever. I think Carvalhal might be the next coach. If he's not, he's going to be the next one to go, because they're not doing anything. And the thing is that might save them is the way Santa Clara might fall back a little bit, and the stuff that's going on in Guimarães with
man,
with
don't even get me
Sosa.
started on that.
Yeah,
I don't know why they brought Carvajal back.
yeah, like that. And we've talked about Carvalhal this whole entire podcast for a while. He's a one-trick pony. He never lasts more than a year with a team. He never does. And you can see with this game of Braga, Horta doesn't even look half of what the player he was a couple years back when Benfica wanted to go get him. He doesn't look this. He's looked like age is starting to catch up to him. And luckily for them, Navarro's brought a little bit of energy that they were missing up top. Your boys brought some energy because they weren't getting anything from the striker position. And just no creativity. And their defense, to be honest with you, it's kind of suspect. They really don't have anyone back there that like can push you off the bar. You know, like someone like a Pep that commands the position and the position back there.
They're trying to make it Nyakate.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll be honest with you, their goalie Mateos saves them a lot in these games. He does. He really does. With some of the saves that he makes, even in this
we hit on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's that guy what he said right now with the Botafogo. That's the news I was
We
talking
talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Braga right now is kind of shaky, but they better be careful because if Santa Clara can hold on to their coach and still build up, they're not going to be safe at that fourth position. If Guimarães, I feel bad because they're starting to lose players now. On top of Sousa mess.
That's something to talk about.
It's a fire sale over there.
Silva to Benfica.
Everything must go.
It's a
They
fire
lost
sale.
Cesar to Saudi Arabia. And, you know, I get it. They're trying to be like Famalicão. They're trying to make some money, get some players, and still be, fighting in the league and stuff. Yeah, but listen, Braga right now is not looking pretty. I think, to be honest with you, Carvalhal might be the next coach to go, depending on how these next league and European games go.
I thought the two games for Benfica just exemplified Braga's season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How they can do that at the Stade de Luz and just 4 days later look unrecognizable.
So inconsistent. Yeah.
It's such a roller coaster ride over there. Yeah. Who knows where they're going to finish?
Problem for Horta, in my opinion, is he really wanted to go to Benfica, so he
hasn't been the same player since.
Mike, am I wrong? Right?
No, you're right. He has not been the same player since that deal fell apart.
No,
right?
Yeah.
Jesus. So what happened with me? This is the worst season that I'm seeing from Ricardo Horta.
Yeah.
2019 that I'm calling the league. The worst season. Now, guys, this is I think. I don't help me out on this one because I don't know. You guys follow this league far longer than me. When was the last time that the big four actually switched coaches in the same season? All of them, Sporting.
This could be the first season.
This could be the
first season. Well, all three.
Yeah.
I think it might be. It's the first in a long time. I think I did see an article where this was.
There was an article. I forget.
Yeah, there was
a year that it was mentioned, but it was a long time.
Yeah,
long time.
Yeah.
It's crazy. This is a wild season, man. It's a wild season, and but
was it in? I'm sorry. Was it in the year that Boavista won?
Possibly.
You could be.
You know what? I think that it was it.
Roy, that's a good call.
2001.
Yeah, I think so. I think Otávio Machado.
I can check that out. I think you're right.
Otávio, when was it that they won? 2001. Yeah, I think Porto ended up getting Otávio Machado that year.
We started with Inácio when we fired him.
Yeah,
I think we ended up with Manuel Fernandes or something
to finish the season.
Yeah. I think it was Manuel Fernandes that finished it.
And I think Benfica were pretty bad that year too. Like
and that was that was the sixth place.
Sixth.
Yeah.
All right.
That might have been that year. Yeah.
Could have been that year. Yeah.
So Benfica sacked you, Plankis, hired Mourinho. Sporting hired
because we had just won. Yeah, we just won the championship the year before that.
I think Porto kept their manager the whole season that year, though.
You got it, Mikey. You got it. You come from the year.
Yeah, in 2000, 2001, Porto did not sack their manager.
Wow.
Fernando Santos made it through the whole season, according to.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, Otávio Machado. Yeah, that's right. He was the following year.
Yeah, it must have been the following year. Yeah,
Yeah.
But the point being is like this
I
is
remember-
a long time.
in forever that this
And
happened.
I think Porto only finished 1 point behind
Yeah, it was close.
because they won in the last game of the season. They took Boavista. That was 4-0.
Yeah, it was
I think Porto wanted
77
to show them
points.
that they were the real champions. Yeah.
Yeah, Boavista had 77, Porto 76.
Yeah, I do remember that. I do remember
And
Porto
Sporting
really sticking
62.
to them the last game of the season. They wanted to
Benfica
show-
finished behind Union de Leiria that season.
I do.
What?
That was with Van Hooijdonk was the striker at that point.
Yeah,
Yes.
Van
Yo,
Hooijdonk.
Van Hooijdonk.
Yeah,
My God.
Yeah,
What-
Van
we could
Hooijdonk.
go all night, man. We could go all night
Talking about coaches.
Yo, you guys remember Pena from Porto?
yeah, I do.
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
Dude, he scored 22 goals one year.
I know.
What?
Yeah. that first
Yeah, he was
time,
good.
it was, like, slow
I think
and
Porto got him from Grasshoppers or whatever it is from Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yo, the Portuguese league was weird, bro.
No,
Back
Mourinho
then, it
was
still is,
coaching.
but
Mourinho took over Benfica that year.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then,
he was.
and then he fired when they wouldn't extend him.
Yeah,
man, you
yeah,
guys really dropped the ball on that one.
of course,
Man.
took years to
Oh,
overcome
jeez.
that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No, and even prior to that,
and then
and then after that,
Mourinho
he was
finished
supposed to go
ahead
to
of
Sporting.
Benfica by coaching Union de Leiria to 4th place or to
Yeah.
5th
Did,
place.
Mu-
excuse me.
did
Well, I
Mourinho
think-
bring Deku to Porto or no? I think Deku was already on the team.
No, an idiot named Graham Souness said Deku had no future,
yeah.
and now he's a TV
Yeah.
pundit.
I think Dick was already on the team. Yeah.
Check this one from Chris.
Yeah, Elton was the goalie for.
Yes.
He's right.
Yeah.
Elton
Yep.
was the goalie
Yeah,
for
he was a
Union.
hell of a goalie.
Yep.
He was a
Yeah.
great goalie.
Elton. All right, so talking about coaches, right? In a while, and now that we are seeing the blueprint of Rui Borges start to take place in Sporting, I think my prediction for the season is going to be right, guys. I'm sorry, but I think we're going to see the repeat for the first time in a long time. Look at the comments. Look
stop
at
it
the
now.
comments.
Yeah,
You don't
the
say
show's
that.
more fun.
Way,
Don't
way
say
too early
that.
for that,
I
man.
don't want to hear it.
I can say it because I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid, but I'm not afraid to say it. And when I throw bold statements like this, usually happen. But I'm just gonna leave it like that. So Benny Gomez is not agreeing with me. But what about you, Ray? What do you think about this? That the chances of the Sporting repeating the title?
I would say
Give me a percentage.
60%.
I think so. Yeah.
60%. Huh. All right, Mikey, give me a
60.
percentage.
Yeah, they're the favorite right now. They're in the lead, and I think the odds they're the most likely to win the league right now, unless something drastic happens in the next 10 days. But
Right.
I don't see it. I don't see that happening. So
Transfer window to close.
I'll go like this. I think Sporting has a 55% chance of winning the league. Benfica has a 40% chance. And Porto has a 5% chance.
Wow.
oh,
Man,
Oh.
only 4 points behind, man.
Come on, boys. Let's make some bets.
Oh. It's talking about betting, guys. I gotta tell you a quick story here, right? I was doing my lives on TikTok, and then I mentioned this. Hey guys, if you wanna bet for the most yellow cards in one season, whatever, they block me. I cannot say anything
you
about.
can't say that on. Wow.
About that, they just block me. All right, dude, you cannot do lives for the next 3 days or so, and every post that
You
was
got put in a timeout.
Wow. It's a timeout, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I'm not getting my TikTok live app now because we're talking whatever we want here, bro. We're free. We're free. So whatever we want. Mauricio, give me a percentage, bro. What's your percentage on this prediction for the repeat of Sporting?
I kind of agree with Roy. I would go only as high as like maybe 65, if that. Yeah.
65. Mr. Gomez, give me a percentage. Give me a number, brother. Give me your number. But be real.
Number?
Yes.
I would say 40%.
Look at this guy.
Oh. They're going to win every single game from now on.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy.
This is very tight.
This guy shows up in a Ferrari, right? Shows up in a Ferrari, and you ask him, "Can you pick up that girl?" And he's like, "I don't know, man. I don't know."
Right.
He's like that, brother. Oh, yeah, Ferrari, you can drive that car naked. That's what you gotta do, man. The girls will come to you. But anyway,
Yeah.
my God. All right, so so many coaches.
I did
What's
find the
Hey,
article.
I was
I
gonna
found
say,
the article.
yeah, you found it.
The
You did.
Ebola had it. They said it's never happened before.
Oh,
It's
never
never
happened.
happened.
Never.
Wow.
So they put out a news article like
Crazy.
2 days ago, and they said the big three had never changed managers in the same season until right
Yes.
now.
I think I saw it. I didn't click into it, but I think I
Okay.
saw something like that.
Yeah.
And
I
so
was
it
just
never
gonna
happened.
say-
Wow.
I was
No.
just gonna say, remember how high we all were on Daniel Souza at Vitória last episode?
This guy must be a giant
No,
asshole.
that was
That's the
Derek's
only thing
point.
that
No.
makes sense to me here.
That was Derek's point. Derek's like, they got the best
This
deal.
guy has to be a
Yeah, I
giant
agree with it.
asshole. I mean, like, there's something like he is rubbing people the wrong way. I don't know what he's doing, but
Listen, me and Derek talked about this. It's either
because it's not about the results.
It's got to be
Like,
something about
I mean,
him at this point.
They went
it's
out
about
against
control.
Elvish. I mean, hey, it happens. I mean, in the last 6 years, Sporting went out to Tuga,
Yeah.
and even with Ruben, they went out to
Yeah.
Berzing. So I mean,
Right.
shit like that happens. It just happens. So
Yeah.
for them to fire him after 3 games, he's rubbing people the wrong way.
Yeah.
I don't know what this guy's saying or doing. He must come off as arrogant. I don't know. He's rubbing people the wrong way, and this is not good for his career.
No, his stock is dropping badly.
Yeah,
Yes,
this is
yeah.
not good for his career. I mean, it's just. I mean, it's not based on results. It's impossible. You can't
No.
fire a guy after
It's
3 games.
impossible. Roy, the next. I mean, I'm not gonna say what's up next, but how do you? I mean, how long do you expect this sort of transition that Porto is going through now to be back, or if they're ever gonna be back this season to be the real Porto?
Depends on the manager. Like
That you don't
To
have
get-
now.
Yeah.
Roy, who do you want to see in there?
Exactly.
I couldn't even tell you. I don't know who to. Yeah, I don't even know who like half of our assistant coaches are. So like even that, I don't even think it's a good idea. I think we need to get
Could
someone
be something new. Yeah.
like. There's been talks about Porto definitely
Luis
going
Castro.
after someone that's a foreigner and not Portuguese, probably
Mhm.
to just come into this league, kind of have that Roger Schmidt effect. You know, guy from Germany, just no one in the
Yeah.
Portuguese league really is familiar with that sort of approach, that sort of
It worked with
humanized
Coadrian.
managers. Yeah, it did actually. Yeah, 06, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, he came in and he like cleaned
Yeah,
house.
Yeah, he
won the
was
double.
great. So I think
They won the
that
double,
I think that sort of
Guimarães,
like shuffle.
Luis Freire, right?
I heard, but what about Luis Castro? How like is that?
He's
real?
available.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
only
he's
other
available.
link I saw was that
I don't know if he'd be the right
Rudy
pick.
Garcia. I saw a link for too. Rudy
Oh,
Garcia.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
No,
No,
that
So
guy's
everybody
a fraud.
that CR7 sacks at Al Nassr
Yeah.
is a candidate.
he's a total fraud.
Oh my God, no, Rudy Garcia is a fraud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion, but
No, I agree.
You know what they need to bring? You need to bring a savior. Lito Vidigal, brother.
Oh God, please,
Lito Vidigal.
please be. I think they would arrest Vilas Boas if they hired him.
I honestly like. I
behind
think
bars, man.
I would have loved. I love the whole rumors of Xavi. Like I know it's not going to happen, but I think he can really do some magic with a young team because
Yeah,
he worked with the youth academy at
Mhm.
Barcelona. Some of the best, arguably the best youth academy in the world. It's definitely top 5.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
he did wonders with those kids, and even integrating them at Barcelona. He didn't have like the best spell there, but he really got a lot out of these young players in the starting 11. You know, he would be great, but I know that's just all.
pie in the sky, right?
Yeah, it's not going to happen. I honestly, I can't really tell who could be that person,
Is it
especially
going
a
to be
foreigner.
George Costa?
Ten Hag.
I have heard that floated.
Hey,
Yes, dude, I can't.
Bishu? Oh, dude, actually, he would
the
clean
things
house.
Yes, he would bring you the
Yes.
things that Vitor Bruno could not. He won't
Yeah.
be the tactician, but he has all of that personality.
Oh, for a second, I thought Chris was trolling. He was like Ten Hag. I'm like,
Going to
that probably
Dortmund.
wouldn't be a bad one either, to be honest.
No,
What
I
he
mean,
did at Ajax.
what he created at
Yeah.
Ajax is, extraordinary.
Yeah,
that
I
was
mean,
really-
it could
that was
probably
really
work at
good.
Porto.
Mm.
Actually,
Yeah.
that wouldn't be, even though that's not what he said, but that wouldn't be bad. But that's also not going to happen because Porto
Money.
can't afford that. Money.
But
Money's
there's
an
no names.
obstacle
But
for
George Costa would be very interesting because that guy is old school.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he is.
he takes no shit, and he, maybe he can
Yo, he
just
did
kick
good
the
with
rear
that
end.
Ops team.
And this is another thing too about not having these Tripeiro Gara players. That we don't have that Gara identity on this team. I think just having a kick, in the rear end to these young players, maybe that's what they need. And with Sergio Conceição going to AC Milan, I think that's what AC Milan needs.
Exactly.
A coach like that. They don't need the best tactician, but like those young players need to understand where they are and what team they play for. And it's the same thing here at Porto. And maybe Jorge Costa could be that guy.
And he's
And
got
would that
some
be too
decent
wild?
experience at this point.
Yeah, he is. He's bounced around. I think he was in India. He was in England.
Oh, yeah.
And he's obviously coached in Portugal. So
Yeah.
he's been around the block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this is the last one from Chris de Souza. Check it out. Pedro Fonseca to Porto, or you
I think he
want
means
to
Paulo
I
Fonseca.
mean, Paulo Fonseca. Oh, God, no.
Oh God, no, not again.
Nah, the rumors for him are going back to France.
Yeah.
So,
No more Portuguese coaches right now.
5% goes to
Except Jorge Costa.
0% if you bring in
George
Fonseca.
Costa. All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Nothing
Jorge
about-
Costa, that was great. I totally forgot about him. So that would be
Because
great.
he's in the structure already.
He
Yeah,
is.
he is. And he wanted Villas-Boas to take charge and get Porto to where they're supposed to be because there was so much just corruption just within the club with how the money was spent. It was just ridiculous. So he wanted to clean house, and maybe he could be the guy to clean house.
Yo, it was him that brought up Obs to the first league. He did a great job over there.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Now, Roy, you know what you need to do? You need to you need to run a poll with all these names that we threw on the show today, man. Put it up there on your Porto English podcast, and we'll see what they.
None of you guys are Portistas here, trying to help us out. Look at that. I appreciate you guys. Honestly, it's been a rough few years.
Mikey wanted us to keep.
You guys are all closet Portistas deep down,
Right.
especially Nino. Nino loves Porto.
He does love Porto. There's no doubt.
Yes, sir, man. Did you remember, Mikey? Remember
Yeah,
Mikey?
I was just about to bring it up.
You know.
Yeah, I
They
remember.
stop having orgasms with Porto sports goals, man. With Mikey. Now, I think that's got the last question for Rui, and there's lots of questions for Rui because he's back tonight. Are you gonna tattoo that Yellowstone thing, or are you just gonna wear the jersey?
No tattoos, man. No tattoos for me. I don't know.
Oh my!
I wouldn't even tattoo Porto on me.
Nothing. No, I just
If I got a tattoo, my mother would still kill me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, what's she gonna do? She's not gonna make you take it back. So
right.
She would just kill me. That's it.
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
No
But
more Sunday dinners.
I got my tattoos, and I got one for this guy.
oh my God, dude! Yo, no.
Oh,
You went to Ohio State?
This is Rui's last episode.
What is that, bro?
That's his last episode.
Hold on.
Oh, dude.
Our international audience is very confused.
No. The team from the north. No way. What is this?
Yeah, that's right.
What is
Yep.
this, brother?
Jack Sawyer 0-4 against Michigan.
The team from up north. Jesus, man.
Ohio State, man. No. Whew.
Hold on.
You know.
You haven't seen. Hold on. Check this out.
We're going to have to do. Oh, man.
Right here.
Oh, shit. That's Columbus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Columbus.
What's that?
And this is the shoe, brother.
Yeah, there's
That's
the shoe.
right there.
Wow.
Shoe.
Columbus Crew
Yeah.
Stadium, too. Yeah. Yeah, Columbus, man. I lived in Columbus for 14 years, guys.
Nino, the new stadium in Columbus where the Crew plays, phenomenal. Out of this world. I was there 2
Wow.
years ago.
Congratulations, Nino. Ohio State.
Yeah, they pulled it off.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Still lost to Michigan, though. You know.
I know. So that Crew Stadium, Mikey, it's downtown now. It's just,
Yeah,
it's
I was there
beautiful, huh?
2 years ago. It's awesome.
Yeah, I heard it's a great
Loud.
city.
It's so loud.
Yeah, the only bad thing is the sponsor, man. You cannot name your stadium Lower.
Lower.com.
Lower.com stadium.
Yeah.
It's, they pay the big bucks.
It'll change in a couple of years.
Not feeling
Those
it.
names always change quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The highest bid.
Lower.com, man. Jeez.
We're gonna have to do like a college football podcast now.
That's it.
Yeah, we
man.
can do that. We can do
We're
that.
gonna have to do that now,
The,
huh?
the
course, of
spin-off of
course.
Tuga Tuesdays.
Yeah, quick story, right, about Ohio State. When I arrived to Columbus in December 2002, right? December 10th. So 4 weeks later, we got the big game that we won in 2003, and my ankle got a ginormous bell, brother, like this size, right? We took it outside to High Street, and all the parade went through, knocking on the bells, man, ringing the bells. It was just fantastic. So that's why I got, right away, got into a city, then win a championship. I came to the right place. Came to our place and stayed.
Maurice Claret.
Maurice Claret, yeah.
Maurice Claret.
Yeah, that's the Maurice Claret season.
Yeah. Oh my God, that guy who was just in the mess. But anyway. But it's time now for the predictions for the
All right.
out. You got the Taza games. You got a little bit of vacation.
Yeah.
Who was not here to bet against Estoril, so we're gonna bring now. Give me the names. Give me the
Yeah.
What's the first game, Mikey?
Friday. So Friday, Aroca hosting Moreirense.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Bam. I'll take Moreirense on that one 1-0. Just 1-0 Moreirense on that one, man. They should have won this last game. They won, right? No, they won. I think they won. But anyway, what you got there, Roy, on this one?
Yeah, let's go Moreirense. I'll go 2-1 for them. 2-0 actually.
2-0 Moreirense. Mikey?
I'll go 1-1 in this one.
1-1. It will be the
we'll get a
fourth draw in a
I'm
row
with-
for Moreirense, man.
Yeah. I'm with
4
Mikey
in a
on this.
row.
Yeah. I'm with Mikey on this one, 1-1.
A draw too.
Yeah.
Gomez.
I'm with Mikey on this one, 1-1.
All right. So everybody bidding on Moreirense's draw because they're on a roll. 4 in a row. Okay. 4 draws in a row for Moreirense. Thanks,
Okay.
Mikey.
Next day. All right. Got to change the page. Okay. So Saturday, Famalicão versus Estrela Amadora.
Ooh, okay.
Jeez.
Jeez.
Fama's going to bounce back. Fama's
I
bouncing
think so.
back.
I
2-0.
think
2-0 Fama at home. Yes. Roy.
Yeah, I'll go Famalicão as well. I think their attack is just gonna just
be
kind
too
of
much.
I think it's gonna be too much. They have a pretty solid attack and their defense is awful, but I think they can get a couple of goals in and walk out with the 3
All
points.
All right. Mikey.
I'll go with 3-1 Famalicão. Yeah.
3-1 Fama. Nice. The Gomez.
I'm going to go 2-2. I think Famalicão hasn't won a game in 8 games. They're struggling.
He's struggling. Huh?
Yeah.
Win at
I
home,
think Estrela gets a point
They
over there,
will.
2-2.
Mauricio.
I'm gonna go 1-1.
1-1. All right. What's next, Mikey?
Farense versus Rio Ave in Algarve. I think Farense.
Man, bam. 1-1. No winner there. What Roy?
I'm gonna go. It's gonna be a wild one. I think it's gonna be 3-3.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be one of those games.
All right, so sorry guys, we got forgot the guys in the comments, man. We got Super Gino says Morirese will take Aruca. Chris de Sosa says a draw. Family Crowd 2-1 for Chris. What do you got, Mauricio?
I'm gonna go 1-0 Rio Ave.
Just 1-0.
I'm gonna go 1-0 Finesse.
Farense, all right. I like that.
I mean, Rewab did not look good this last Saturday. They put up no fight, so I'm concerned about them.
Mikey, what's next?
1-1. I'll go 1-1 on this one.
1-1. All right.
Yeah. Then we got Casa Pia hosting Benfica.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good match.
That's a good matchup. Yeah, Casa P is the hottest team right now.
Yeah.
That's a good match.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 1-1 on this one.
1-1. Oh,
yeah.
Gomez?
I'm still gonna go with Benfica 2-0.
2-0. Mauricio?
I'm gonna go 2-1 Casa Pia.
Oh man, wow.
I feel like this Barcelona game might hit them mentally a little bit.
We'll see how this, see how it plays out. I think they bounce.
Mikey.
I think Benfica's going to be okay this time. I think
Me too.
I'm probably jinxing them because I'm usually on the other side of the. But I think Benfica's going to win 3-1.
I got the same exact number as Mikey. Brace from Pavlidis.
Yeah, I think he might find his form now.
Brace from Pavlidis. He found the back of the net, and I said it. Chris can back me up on this one on the recent broadcast that I said this, that the second half of the season for Pavlidis
You did say
is going to be great. It's going to be great. That's all I got to say.
And Sheldrip's playing well right now too, so I think they got enough. Sporting versus Nacional.
In Lisbon, right?
Yeah.
At the Alvalade.
5-0.
Yeah.
5-0 Sporting.
Rui.
I'll go 3-0.
Mr.
Sporting,
Gomez.
of course.
Of course.
2-0.
2-0. Mr. Ruano.
I agree with Derek. 2-0.
2-0. Mr. Mikey D'Agostino.
To be different, I'll say 4. I was going to go with 3, but I'll say 4 to be different. Because I think Sporting's going to run them over. Sunday. Oh, Rui's favorite team, Estoril, hosting Vitória Guimarães.
Guimarães 5-0. 5-0 Guimarães.
Yeah.
Gonna happen.
But where are they playing, Mikey? Estoril?
Estoril at Estoril, yes.
Against
Guimarães. Yep.
2-2 on that one. 2-2, I said that one.
Oh, that's what popped in my head too.
Mikey?
Guimarães got to get it right here. I mean, Luis Friere's in there. We've heard about how good of a coach he is. Now he's got a team, of a higher level where he can prove something. I think they're going to come out and they're going to play better. Vitória is going to get the win. They need it. They're trending in the wrong direction, and they got to get it turned around.
All right. Mr. Gomez?
I'm with you on this one, Nino. I think it's going to be 2-2.
Okay.
Guimarães is selling they're selling way too many players right now.
I know. Way too many, man. Caio Cesar, I love Caio Cesar, man.
Caio Cesar was a really good player.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you got, brother, on this one?
I got the boys from Cascais, 2-1, Estoril.
All right. Chris de Souza says 2-2. Sporting 1-0 on that one on the Sporting game.
Yeah.
They're losing too many quality players. They're just losing too many.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, Sporting. Mikey, what's next?
Porto, Santa Clara.
At Santa Clara?
No, at Porto.
There go. Yeah.
There go.
Yeah.
This will be a lot of This will be a lot of pressure in this game.
Shit, man.
There's a lot of pressure just for the starting lineup you put out there.
Look, it's gonna be dramatic. It's gonna be dramatic, but I think the Dragons are gonna pull this one off. 3-2, 3-2. With a late goal from freaking Rodrigo Mora. There you go.
Super sub.
Yeah.
No, you'll be starting this game, right, Nino?
I think he'll start.
Yeah, I'll go 2-1 on this one for Porto. I think they need this win, and new manager coming in. Usually, sometimes you see this little spark with a new manager, and given how this season's going, it's kind of do or die. And Porto's only 4 points back, so there's something there that can give them a reason to wake up and get a good performance. I think they need it. I think they'll get it, but won't be the best. But 2-1 here. Santa Clara will win 2-1. It could happen.
Man, Mikey, what do you got on this one?
All right, so I actually had the chance. Porto's interim coach, I met him a couple of years ago. He was working at Charlotte FC as their B team manager. He was there for a year. I visited. I got to see him. I think he's going to get a win. They're going to be loose. They're playing under an interim manager. Porto's going to be loose. The pressure is going to be lighter, I think, even though it seems like it's pressure packed. The expectation drops. And like Rui said, there's usually a little bit of a bump when a new manager comes in. I think Porto's going to win 3-1. And Santa Clara is going in the wrong direction.
They are. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going.
All right. Domis?
I'm going to go 2-0 for Porto. But I do think that first half hour is going to be critical. Santa Clara likes to disrupt. They like to foul every 30 seconds. They want to disrupt the flow of the game. So if Porto can score early, that'll facilitate things. But the longer the game goes, if it's tied, then it gets really hard with those guys because they love to disrupt the flow of the game. That's just how they play.
Yes, sir. Mr. Caruana, what do you got on this one?
I like Mikey's result with the 3-1 for Porto. I think they're going to come out loose as well. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Mikey, what's next?
All right. Braga hosting Boavista.
Boavista.
Just what the doctor ordered for.
For Braga, dude.
Oh my! Can they?
Boavista's sad, dude.
It's
just sad.
They are by far the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
You know what? But you know what? They're gonna pull up a game on this one, right? It's gonna be 1-1, man. It's gonna be 1-1 at the Municipal de Braga. I'm telling you this right now. Boston is scoring for Boavista. Or no. My boy, Salvador Agra. I trust in Salvador.
It's got to be one of them. They can't sign anybody else.
The only two that aren't youth play. Okay, Nino. Salvador Agra is suspended. He's on a red card. Yeah.
Never mind. Braga 1-0 then. That's it.
They got like 3 guys missing that game.
Yeah, well, they got 4.
Yeah.
Pedro Gomes, Salvador Agra, Miguel Rezinho, and Sopuchuru Anyumechi.
Yeah. And they already have no bench.
Onemiachi. Jeez.
Yeah.
No. All those 4 suspended?
They're all on red cards. Yeah.
You got no chance, man. 3-0 Braga.
Pretty good.
3-0 Braga then.
Yeah.
You got
But
no
Rezinho,
no Bruno. No. Man, it's a catastrophe. They're done.
It's over.
Yeah. 3-0 Braga. 3-0 Braga. Switched my statement because I didn't know that there were.
Yeah.
All right. What you got, Roy, on this one? How much Braga? That's the question.
Oh, yeah. 4-0.
4-0. Mikey?
I'll say at least 3-0 for Braga.
Right, at least. Derek?
I'll give him a little bit. It's at 3-1.
3-1. 1-1 for Boavista.
Yeah.
Mauricio?
They'll be lucky if it stays 3-0.
Yeah, we're being gentle.
And I'll tell you this right now, Carvajal, if Boavista gets a point out of this game, he's definitely gone. He's definitely gone.
I mean, if they lost, yeah, he would be gone.
Oh, yeah.
He'd get fired after the game. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Mikey,
they'll
what's
hire
next?
Daniel Souza back.
Daniel Souza.
On the same day, and then do the same day, right? They're gonna do the same thing that they did to him, right? You get the fire
Yeah.
Carl and
Right.
the
Yeah.
next day at 6 a.m.
And one game on Monday. AVS versus Gil Vicente at wherever AVS in Obs. Yep.
Gil Vicente's looking good.
Yeah.
My Gilistas, brother. My Gilistas
Yeah.
with my boy Kane Fujimoto leading the way.
Mhm.
And they took out Morenés in the Tasa. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Gil
Yeah.
Vicente Sporting in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Mikey, but I think Kane Fujimoto suspended for the next game. Is it?
Let's check. Let's check.
You check on that one because I think
It
He's-
just says Sitoli is the only injury. There's no. It
Wasn't-
doesn't list a
Yeah.
suspended player, so I don't know.
no, right. I thought, no, it was the third yellow. It was the third one. No,
Okay,
the
so-
third yellow. I now remember. 8-0. He says Chris is so sound.
Yeah.
8-0. Oh my
15
God.
0.
Yeah.
Zero. What was it? This one? AVS versus who?
Gil Vicente.
Gil Vicente.
Gil Vicente. 3-1 Gil
Yeah.
Vicente. 3-1.
Yeah.
What do you got, Roy, on this one?
I'm gonna go 1-1 on this.
Ooh.
I think
1-1.
I think Avs is gonna pull an upset. They really need a result to get out of the relegation zone.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Mikey
2-0 Gil Vicente.
Gomez.
I'm
I'm
still a
gonna
little
go-
sour from last week. So.
I want to go 2-1. 2-1 Gil Vicente.
2-1 Gil. Mauricio.
I'll go 2-0 Gil Vicente as well.
I need to get a jersey from Gil Vicente.
Yeah, you gotta get.
I gotta
That's
get one of Frank Navarro. It's gotta be. I went an old one with Frank Navarro's number. Was he wearing what? He was not wearing number 9, was he? Oh yes.
I think he was the number 9.
On
Yeah.
Gil, he was. Yeah.
I think he was
Yeah.
the number 9.
He was wearing the number 9, yes, right? Yeah.
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 Guys, that was it. All the games.
That's all the
Thank
games.
you. Thank you, Roy, for showing up for this special edition of the show because we really need you to talk here.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry guys. I just been having a lot going on lately, and it's been hard. But yeah, no, I feel bad. Just
We get you back, Roy. We get you
Yeah.
back.
yeah.
That's right. Even
Mauricio can be the substitute portista since he's like the new guy.
Well, he covers the rest of the league for us.
Yeah, so
he watches every
Yo, if
game.
it's not for me,
He
Gino
watches
doesn't
every
have a
game.
job if it's not for me.
yeah.
Look at Chris. Look at Chris. My family is from Barcelos. I'm very happy. Last week I was dancing like crazy because he's
Man, he's rubbing
Yeah.
it in.
Oh,
Man.
Benfiquista, big Benfiquista. Chris Sousa, guys.
How are you? He's a Benfica fan.
Yeah.
But he's from Barcelos, so.
Why? How?
I don't know, man.
Oh,
There's
good.
Benfiquistas everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
All corners of the world, man. They're everywhere.
Yep.
Oh my God! Thank you guys for here tonight. Mauricio, Rui, Derek, Mr. Benfica. Thank you guys. There was two Tuesdays. We'll see you next Tuesday. Adios.
Tuesday, guys.
See you guys.
All right, see you, boys.